The Mojave Desert is known as the driest place in North America, and to some it seems a forbidding, desolate place full of scorched earth and rugged landscapes. But one oasis has been drawing people to the desert for years. The Meadows National Wildlife Refuge, located about 50 miles east of Death Valley, is a place where crowds are rare and rewards are abundant. Meadows National Wildlife Refuge, established in 1984, is the largest oasis in the Mojave Desert, supporting an incredible diversity of plants and wildlife year-round. Over 23,000 acres of alkali seeps, springs, and other unique habitats make Meadows a biological wonder. Over 10,000 gallons of crystal clear water rises to the desert surface every minute at the refuge. The water, often referred to as fossil water, escapes from an aquifer after spending thousands of years underground. After reaching the surface, the springs and seeps meander across the dry desert, providing life to plants and wildlife, some of which are found nowhere else in the world. Often referred to as endemic species, Meadows has nearly 30 species that have adapted to live in or around the spring water. These species are the largest concentration of endemic species in the United States, 5 of which are listed as endangered and 8 are considered threatened. There are 3 native species of pupfish found on the refuge. As ancient lakes that covered a large part of the Southwest began to dry up, pupfish were confined to small areas with unique water quality, with various species becoming highly adapted to withstanding conditions that would kill other fish, like high temperatures, high salinity, and low dissolved oxygen. The easiest fish population to see while at the refuge is the endangered Meadows Armagosa pupfish. A short walk to King Springs at Point of Rocks will give visitors a glimpse of the blue male and green female pupfish swimming, feeding, and defending their territories. Crystal Springs Boardwalk, located next to the visitor center, leads to the refuge's most iconic Caribbean blue spring pool. This spring provides 2,800 gallons of water a minute, is approximately 15 feet deep, and the water is a constant 86 degrees Fahrenheit. The length of the boardwalk is approximately 7/10 of a mile round trip, and there are benches, viewing areas complete with scopes, and colorful information panels along the way. Meadows differs from other desert areas where few plants are found, or where blooms occur only in spring. Here the blooms can occur throughout the year in some areas, and there are approximately 340 plant species on the refuge. The salty ground of Meadows is caused by extensive evaporation of groundwater in springs and seeps, as it is exposed to the dry climate and hot desert sun. As a result of this evaporation, dissolved salts form on the ground surface. The salt concentrations contain trace elements like arsenic and boron. But species like the alkali mariposa lily thrive in the briny soil that is at times so salt-covered it almost looks like a desert snow. The most common tree at the refuge is the screw bean mesquite. The screw-shaped seed pods, for which the tree receives its name, is eaten by coyotes and small mammals that help disperse seeds to new areas. Native Americans in the region also collected and cured the pods before grounding them into flour. Meadows is also rich in pioneer history. Settlers used the spring water to operate small family farms, and some sold their crops to nearby mining camps. Perhaps the most famous homesteader was Jack Longstreet, who settled in Meadows in 1894. He built a cabin made of stone in 1896 near a spring that still bears his name. Little is known about Jack Longstreet, and his life prior to Meadows remains a mystery to this day. He made his living as a prospector, rancher, saloon keeper, trailblazer, and even a hired gun. Other outlaws were also drawn by the isolation Meadows offered. During Prohibition, canyons on the refuge were used to conceal bootlegger stills, and spring water was used to make whiskey. Today, little remains of the area's rum-running past, but legends and rusting whiskey barrel rings. As the Wild West and Prohibition era faded into the Industrial Age, Meadows faced threats from large-scale development. In the 1960s, Meadows Carson Slough, a large marshy area, was drained for the purpose of mining peat. During the 1960s and 1970s, more land was bulldozed. After seeing the devastating effects of mining, farming, ranching, and groundwater pumping on the native habitat and the species found at Meadows, the Nature Conservancy and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service worked together to turn the area into a protected refuge. Meadows officially became a refuge in 1984, and restoration efforts began and continue to this day. The service now manages the largest remaining oasis in the Mojave Desert, restoring the area to a healthy ecosystem for native plants and animals, while also serving as a place for visitors to explore desert springs, important Native American sites, and outlaw history.